Well, we had an interesting Loretta's in the 50 PW class, especially. Not sure if you guys have seen some of the drama going around. It's been over on Facebook, it's been on X, it's been a little bit of everywhere. So my thoughts on this whole deal. I've always thought that tearing down bikes, the whole rule and stuff, I know it was necessary. There's no other way to do it, but it's so cringy. It's very rare when it happens, especially at any kind of local or regional level. And I think even at Loretta's, it's pretty rare, except in the 50 classes. And why is that? It's because the 50 classes, especially the PW50 class, is the one where the bike modifications make the biggest difference, because these bikes in stock form, they have trouble even making it around the track. So every little bit you can grab these bikes, especially as the kids get heavier, you know, it makes a big difference. Once you get up to the bigger bikes, it turns into more, 99% rider. So I think that's why we see a lot of the issues in the PW class. Now, my idea here was, let's just make this wide open so there are no teardowns. And whoever won, and you can do whatever you want to mod these, because how much money can you really put in to a PW50 to mod it? Yes, I'm sure there's a bunch of titanium and ceramic stuff and everything you can do, but still, it's still going to be relatively cheap compared to big bike racing. So I first said, let's just make it wide open. Everybody said, no, you're making the price, you're making it too expensive. I combat that by saying anybody that is affording to take a 4-year-old across the country to race and do national championships, which I don't really agree with anyway, can afford to mod the hell out of a PW50, right? But if that's not what you guys want to do, okay, Yamaha supply the bikes. If KTM can supply all these electric $6,000 electric bikes for the Junior Supercross Challenge, surely Yamaha, who's been selling these same PW50s since 1987, surely they can show up to the ranch with 40 or 50 of these P-dubs. And then people told me, well, they run very different in stock form. And it's like, okay, whatever. And then Moto Mom Media put out this post that just kind of put it into words better than I could. It's a very long post. It kind of talks about what happened at Loretta's. I mean, there was a lot of drama. There was some cheating. There was a fight in the mechanics area. I saw a video of that over on Cooksy's channel. There's a woman holding a baby and people are beside her fighting. It's really cringy stuff. And Moto Mom Media account basically just says, this is not cute anymore. Just get rid of the 4 to 6 year old shaft drive class. And yeah, she took, whoever runs this account, she said she has kids that ride big bikes. She took a ton of heat for this post. But I kind of agree, guys. I mean, in what other sport do 4-year-olds compete for national championships? 4-year-olds don't play football. If they play basketball, it's at the local Y. All these other sports, I mean, yeah, maybe they can dabble in it. Maybe you can start kicking around a soccer ball at the local soccer field. But in what other sports are there like these national championships spending tens of thousands of dollars a year for 4-year-olds that, and she puts here, can't wipe their butt or spell motocross? These bikes were made for the backyard. It's 1987 tech, and it won't get around a motocross track stock for a reason, because it wasn't supposed to do that. It's made for the backyard. It's made for a 4 or 5 or 6-year-old to learn how to ride. So my next idea was, if Yamaha won't supply the bikes, if you guys don't want to do all that, then let's just replace the class with the E2 from KTM. I bet KTM would supply the bikes. I bet they'd love to take over another class. And then people will say, yeah, you can cheat with electric. Yeah, guys, but it's electric. It's not magic. There can be Joules tests and stuff devised for these with plugs. You can test that just like you test any other. They do this in paintball and airsoft and anything else that uses electricity. You can test the Joules. You just allow so much power in, and that's it. At least with a bike like this, you would know that the person getting interviewed and getting the TV time after Loretta's, really is the kid that's the winner. Now, realistically, nothing's going to change because, let's be honest, the most enthusiastic parents in the pits are 50 parents. There's just so much to unpack here. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but I kind of want to know from the TikTok side. I've seen the Facebook side. I've seen the X side. You guys let me know. What do you think? Should we get rid of the 4 to 6 shaft drive class, leave it to local and regional racing, or should we replace it with EE2, or should we change the rules to allow full mods, forget teardowns and protests and all this stuff? What do you guys think?